Bon dia Manu. We are out the house nice and early today. It feels nice and early anyway, it's 10:30. That's quite early for us to be out and fully ready. We are heading up the hill. Yesterday at the end of the vlog I said we were going to do something interesting today, and we are off up to Caramulo. There is an old vintage car museum up there and we've never actually been to, but over the next few days they are having a car festival. Is it a car festival?
The Caramulo Motor Festival 2017.
There you go. And so we thought we would drive up and have a look and see what's going on. The last time we came to this town it was absolutely dead and we were the only people up there. So I'm interested to see if there's some people up there this time and hopefully get to see some cool cars. It's about a half-hour drive up the hill, so not too bad, and we left at nap time, so Story will hopefully sleep all the way there. We have arrived in Caramulo. We're definitely in the right place because we just went past a sign saying Caramulo Motor Festival, but cannot see one thing. There's not one old car here at all, so we're going to keep driving around. Story's asleep, so we'll let her stay asleep for as long as we can and we'll just keep driving and investigate. There's another sign there. Where are they all?
I don't know. I really should have thought of this earlier, but arriving to a festival like this on the first day early was probably the worst idea. And it's a Friday, so I'm assuming that most people with the old classic cars will be turning up on the weekend, but it's definitely here. I've seen the start of the race and I can see that there's a lot of like tourism signs here, and there is one classic car, so let's go and see that. That wasn't it, by the way. There we go. That's beautiful. And it's an English car. It looks like it would be really uncomfortable to drive, and yet...
No. There's no danger of getting halfway down the motorway to London from home and going, bugger, I meant to take an S-Class. But people like them.
Yeah, definitely. It looks amazing. Yeah, because everyone would want like more modern luxuries, wouldn't they?
Like what?
Yeah, I guess an engine that works. Yeah, so it's an 03, right? So that's a 2003 car, right?
No, it's just a plate.
Oh, it's just a plate.
12.
Oh wow, it's newer than that.
Yes,
God.
it's not even 5 years old.
That's unbelievable. I love it. Sash, how old do you think this car is? Give me a decade.
Oh, I don't know.
2012.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's a modern car.
I was gonna say.
Oh no, did we wake you up? Well, that was a nice guy, wasn't he? Yeah. So it turns out he drove that car all the way from Scotland just for this event. Yeah, so crazy. It is going to be a big event, just not today. This is a 3-day event, so we've obviously arrived way too early on the first day. It sounds
too eager.
Yeah. It sounds like there's some kind of racing up the hill tonight, which we won't be here for, but maybe tomorrow and the next day it's going to be buzzing. Yeah. I've seen some videos of this and it looked like really busy, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Well anyway, let's go and have a look inside this museum because we've driven past it many times now and we've never actually gone in, so let's have a look. Alright, so this is the inside of the Museo de Caramulo, and we've gone to the toy store, haven't we, Story? Yeah.
It's not a store.
I know, it's a toy museum. I think Grandad Rob would like this, wouldn't he?
He would indeed.
He's got a couple of these kind of little things, hasn't he?
He's got quite a few.
I bet these toys are worth a little bit of money, aren't they?
These are cool. Yeah. They're really old.
What, these ones at the bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually look like they've been taken from a child's room from the old days. A full Matchbox collection of cars there. And they've even got the little petrol station, BP. They've got these proper wind-up toys in here. Can you imagine all the people that threw these toys away when they were younger? And now they're thinking, oh, I should have kept it. People from my generation will know what Meccano is. This looks like a much more ancient version of that. I used to love Meccano. So it looks like they've got some kind of Ferrari Expo on at the moment. I should mention it costs €7 per person to get in here before I forget that info. So let's have a look at these Ferraris. Aerodynamics are for people who can't build engines. I wonder if that's what Ferrari really thinks. Mr.
His name underneath it.
He did put his name to that quote. And he did build some good cars. Lots of information here, but it's all in Portuguese. I can read some of it. What a lovely car. They don't build cars like that anymore, do they? They don't look as pretty as that anymore, the shape. I actually don't like that plastic cover, or that glass cover on the light though. Doesn't look very nice, does it? That bit. This one's a bit ugly, isn't it, Sach? We're just discussing how big an indicator needs to be.
Yeah, this is
Not that big story.
You like this one?
It's the one that you like, story. Yeah, you're making the most noises for this one. That one's quite nice at the back. And this is my brother's favourite Ferrari. Hey Story, this is Uncle's favourite one.
Say, look, Uncle Cam,
Look,
what
Uncle.
we found.
It's a Ferrari F40. Say, look, Uncle Cam, I've seen one in real life. Oh, that's noisy. Oh yeah, it's got British plates too, yeah. Lovely, isn't it, Story? Do you want that car? Is that a no? No space for your baby seat. I wonder which cars they have in here on a regular basis then, because if this is just the Ferrari Expo, then they must change them quite regular. That's a better saying, isn't it, Story, from Enzo Ferrari? If you can dream it, you can do it. I prefer that one. The other one was a bit cocky, wasn't it? Alright, this is more like it. That seems like a lot of machine for just one person, doesn't it, Sash? May as well be a motorbike. I did actually think that that Ferrari bit was the only part of the museum. I was about to say it wasn't worth €7. But now that we've found out there's actually another museum on the other side of the street that you get entitled access to with your ticket, this is actually quite cool. This is an old Bugatti. You used to have to start that with a hand crank. Look at the size of the lights on this, Sash. Absolutely massive. The car itself is big too. I don't think you can get the scale of that. Oh, it's a truck. It's a fire truck. That's why. Fancy one of those? Look at all that engine in there. Just amazed at how big these vehicles are. And they've got so much wood on them as well. They can't be very light. And some of them say that engines are only 25 horsepower, so you can imagine how slow that is. Technology has changed a lot since those days, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Cranking your car by hand. Driving around with wood boxes attached to the side.
They're so big, aren't they?
I know. Let's try and see if we can show the scale of this Rolls Royce. Okay, that's Story as close as she can get to the vehicle. That is big, isn't it? Yeah, there's lots of space for your car seat in that one. We were just imagining what it would have been like to drive down the roads in the old days in these huge cars.
I don't think I've ever been this close to like these kind of cars. I didn't realise they were that big.
Yeah, I know.
I'm really surprised.
Is that the Lamborghini? I'll give you a fright. Are you saying, where are they taking my Lamborghini? That's mine. Thief. Ruined our peace and quiet, Sash. Yeah, we were quietly looking at these army vehicles here. Got disturbed. I'd be interested to ride one of these to see what it feels like.
This one is a child's model for 8 to 10-year-old children.
Oh, really?
A penny farthing.
Pissy collector.
Rare because you don't normally get them that small.
I think you could ride that child's one.
I wouldn't want it.
It's still too high for you. There's loads more cars up here.
Made the banisters out of car parts.
Have they? Oh, yeah. Conrods and crankshafts. I think this has got to be the weakest engine I've ever seen. 1 horsepower, although it is more of an assisted bicycle. This Peugeot is the oldest running car in Portugal.
Yeah.
Looks it too. It's even got one of those like burp, 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 burp ones on the side.
It won a race in '95. It won the Paris to Bordeaux
Really?
race just for vehicles made in the 19th century.
God.
And it won.
1899. So far, this is my favourite part of the Caramulo Museum. These cars are so old. I can't even imagine them being used by people and just reading some of the specifics, if you're into engines or vehicles at all, just the idea of how slow they must have been and how uncomfortable they must have been to drive back in those decades. It's an eye-opener, it really is. And in 100 years from now, they'll be looking at our cars today in the same way. Weird.
There's only 4 of these in the entire world, this Fiat.
Really?
2 in America, 1 in Australia, and this one here in Portugal.
Must be worth a few pennies then. That's cool. I don't think I've ever seen a motorbike that shape. Look at that, they're so thin. This used to be Harley Davidson's competitor, but then Harley Davidson destroyed them. You should get one of these bikes, Sash. You want a bike, don't you? How about one of these? I'm sure they're very fashionable now. Here we go, I found the motorbike we should buy. Yeah, all the family can fit in there. What do you think? Yeah. Put Eden and Story in the sidecar. Eden and Story in the same vehicle. Hmm? Eden. This is a funny looking thing, isn't it?
I like it, I think it is really cool.
It looks like those toys in the toy museum downstairs. This car never made it into production, I think you can see why. The chairs inside, they look like picnic chairs. That's funny. Bugatti hasn't upgraded their logo for 100 years. It's a shame they don't list how much they cost. I'd love to know how much these cars cost. A couple of months ago I was trying to explain to Sash what a Le Mans car is, and they've got one in here. These cars do 24-hour races. Imagine how exhausting it is to race in a seat like that with no windscreen or anything.
This actual car came 4th.
4th in what?
In the Le Mans race.
Oh, is it? TVE24. That's the news channel that interviewed us a few months back.
This Le Mans car actually won the race in 2009.
Oh, so this is the winner?
Yeah, with the Portuguese team.
How's this for fuel economy? This little car here did 830 kilometres on 1 litre of gas. That is next level. Wouldn't be a very comfortable 830 kilometres in that though. Right, we're done here. We finished the whole museum. You enjoy that?
Yeah, it was good actually.
It was good in the end, yeah. Like that. This guy's still waiting for something to start. Another car has joined. We've just found this park opposite the museum. Story's going to have her bottle here. We're just walking around the back of the car museum now. We weren't allowed to film it, but included in the price of the ticket there was an art gallery upstairs.
On the top of where the red Ferraris were. It was massive. There was loads of rooms full of like 16th to 18th century art.
I think there was actually more art than there were cars.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's included in the price.
Yeah.
Now we're going for a wander through Caramulo to see if we can find somewhere to get a coffee. We ended up at the Meltino Cafe. And we're sitting outside now with a kek each. That's what a kek is. And a couple of abattonados or Americanos. Everything was €3.40 and we have a little view here. Not bad. We've been here for a few hours now and I'm still not hearing any motoring action going on, so I do believe that it's a little bit of a festival fail. I wore my special car t-shirt and everything.
I did joke on the way up the hill that this could be the only classic car we see today. Joe's t-shirt.
Do you know what though? If it wasn't for the museum, there'd be that one classic car from private owner, isn't it, so far?
What, the Scottish man?
Yeah, the Scottish man's car.
That's not a classic.
Oh yeah, it's
2012.
yeah. It's not even a classic car. Yeah, so that's it. If that museum was not there, I would be wearing the only classic car in the village.
Yeah, it's not quite what I imagined it was going to be like up here, but I guess we're just too early.
We just came here on the wrong day.
As we normally are.
Yeah, never mind. We gave it our best shot.
We have seen them taking the cars out of the museum and driving them around the road and then going back into the museum, so I'm guessing tomorrow they're going to be out racing up the hill maybe. Yeah,
and the Scottish guy did say that some of the races will begin in the evening, like after 6 o'clock, and we'd be gone by then anyway. Yeah. So never mind, I think maybe another time. But still, it was worth coming up here.
I thought it was good, yeah.
I enjoyed it. And now we are heading home.
There's a few more cars arrived
Yeah,
now.
just a few more have arrived. Alright, Story Bean, you ready? Oh, you beautiful girl.
I really did enjoy that. I quite like cars. I'm nowhere near a petrol head or anything like that. Jay's much more into cars than I am, but I do enjoy a good car. If you didn't know, we used to own our very own classic car. We used to have a 41-year-old, was it?
Yeah, when we bought it.
Yeah, 41-year-old Ford Escort Mark 1 back when we lived in Thailand. And yes, it wasn't always in working order, but it got us around for many years when we lived there. You can check out our old Thailand videos and see our old car that we used to drive in our playlists if you go and check that out.
I was kind of hoping to see one of those today, because when I was looking at the pictures of the motor festival there was a couple, but just chose the wrong day.
I do actually, I'm going to say this. You said the other day that you would never own a 2-stroke motorbike on camera.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say on camera, I miss our Ford Escort. I do. I was saying to Jay the other day, wasn't I? Yeah. That I see pictures of it now. It's all been refurbished and stuff, but it kind of makes me feel a little bit sad that we don't have it anymore. So yeah, I miss our Ford.
Yeah, maybe we'll get another classic car in the future.
Oh, maybe.
Who knows?
If you fancy watching an extra vlog from us, we now put up 6 vlogs a week, and you can check the links here to see how you can watch them. One of them goes up on our Patreon page, so you have to become an 8-miler to see our 6th vlog of the week. I am going to go ahead and end the vlog for today. Story has gone to sleep in the back there, so it is her afternoon nap time. Hope you've all had a lovely day, and we'll see you next time. Bye!